Hi, my name is Heather Gibson, and I'm really excited to be with you today to share some of the things that I've seen make a big difference in the lives of my clients and definitely for their owners as well. So, we're going to be talking about itchy, stinky, red, and skin and paws, and how that can be avoided and also treated. I am a certified pet nutrition coach. I'm also a certified animal aromatherapy specialist, and I've been training under a holistic vet for over a year now and have learned some amazing things I'm excited to share with you tonight. So, when we talk about skin issues, there are four common areas that are a little easier fix for us as pet owners. Now, some things I'm just going to tell you right now need a vet, and it may be an infection that needs some kind of treatment for it. But we're going to go over four of the common things that you can do something about today. So we've got allergies, yeast. Anybody with that Frito smell or really oily skin will want to pay attention to that section, as well as discomfort and anxiety. So these are four very common reasons for licking and itching. So let's dive in a little deeper to all four. Food allergies. I think that's the first thing a lot of people think about when they think about allergies is the food. And it is definitely a smart thing to take a look at your recipe on the back of the bag you're feeding. So a couple ingredients that are more likely to cause allergic reactions are corn, wheat, and soy. So if you have a dog or a cat that's having some skin issues, you're probably going to want to cut those out and get a different recipe. Honestly, most the high quality brands will not have these anyway because of some of the other problems that tend to go with them. Another thing that happens a lot with food is the pet food companies will add things in. This helps bulk up the bag and make it look bigger, but it doesn't have the nutritional value for the pets. So it's kind of wasted space. And it's a lot of times has stuff that doesn't agree with pets. So you're going to want to try and find a very nutrient dense food when you're looking at food. With dogs, chicken tends to be a problem sometimes. In certain lines, certain breeds, everybody is different. But if you're looking at saying, maybe I want to try a different protein source, I would try something other than chicken and see if that helps. Now, allergies range from everything to what they call intolerances, to where you might see a little bit of an issue, maybe some loose stool, some skin issues, all the way up to full allergies. And most are closer to the intolerant side. So with a little bit of work, we can kind of manage those a little bit better. Another thing that you need to be watching out for that can cause allergies is environmental, seasonal, and then chemicals. So when you think about fleas and ticks, when they bite, they release a little bit of toxin into the skin. And just like humans, an insect bite can have a very wide range of reactions from the skin of the host. So you'll see everything from a lot of swelling to even like abscess to almost nothing. But it's very good to be aware that that can be a cause and can cause some major health issues in your pets. Just like humans, dogs and cats can have seasonal allergies. So pollen and grass can be a problem for them. One of the things I really recommend as pet owners is that you start to become a detective. If your pet is having problems, start to track it. Look and see if anything is out of the ordinary in your normal schedule. So this is for something that's kind of cyclical, something that comes and goes. You'll want to look at, insect bites, time of year. Could it be seasonal allergies? Am I outside walking in ice melt and they're getting that on their paws and they're reacting to that? What about new chemicals in the home? Are you washing with something new? It's a really good idea just to be aware of everything overall, because all of it can have an impact on your pet. So with allergies, you can see here a couple pictures of the redness, the inflammation, the discomfort. A lot of it is made worse by the licking. It, just aggravates whatever's going on there and can actually introduce yeast infections, which we'll talk about in a second. But a couple of things that you can do to prevent or help alleviate it is to make sure you're on a high quality food. Now, high quality food should have a protein source is the first ingredient. So it doesn't have to be chicken. It can be fish, duck, lamb, but you want a whole food there first. You also want to look at, we talked about avoiding ingredients that are more likely to cause allergies. So avoid that corn, wheat, and soy. And then also watch for the reaction in your pet. So you don't want to go out and change foods all the time and very quickly. You want to do it as a slow process, little bit by little bit over about a week's period, going from their old food to the new food. And realize that a high quality food you will feed less of. It's more nutrient dense. It doesn't have those fillers. And so don't be surprised if you feed 40 to 50% less on a high quality food. And then over time, you'll start to see the differences in the skin, depending on what the issue is. It can take some time for it to really manifest or show up in the skin. But it's definitely something that if it's a solution to your problem, you should start to see. A high quality salmon oil, so those omegas in the salmon oil, is incredible for many things. But since we're talking about allergies today, I'll say that they are great for helping your dog or your cat have a healthy inflammatory response, which just means that their body can handle things better and they're less likely to have the swelling and therefore lead to the itching and the licking and that cycle that just keeps going. CBD is also fabulous for helping with the inflammatory response, among other things. And so it's something I definitely recommend if you're seeing these kind of symptoms in your dog or your cat where it's red like this. Digestive enzymes also really help, especially for food allergies, because what digestive enzymes do is they help break down the food in a way that the body can handle it. And so when it's broken down properly, it doesn't cause the same reactions that you have without that. Also, there are several great allergy supplements with an herbal blend in them. I have a favorite and I'll share at the end, my favorite Pottery product. We know that this event is put on by Pottery, but you want to investigate the different ingredients in it and then remember that there's a vast difference in quality. So one may look like it might be a similar result to the other, but the quality of the ingredients matter too. So now we're going to talk about yeast. Yeast can be a problem on its own, or it can be a secondary problem, meaning that the dog had an allergy and licked it a lot, and then there was a fungal overgrowth and it caused a yeast infection. There's also yeast that builds up in the gut from the food. If the food has sugars, fillers, sweeteners in it, it can lead to a yeast overgrowth. So cats and dogs naturally have some yeast. It's not a problem. It's part of the good balance in a pet. But the problem is when it gets out of control. So when you have a yeast problem, you definitely want a higher quality food that's lower carb and sugar-free diet. You're going to want to wean, you're going to starve that yeast. You have to do it slowly because it can make your pet sick if you do it too quickly. As the yeast dies off, it releases some byproducts, and so you don't want to do that too quickly. A high quality salmon oil helps. It helps with the inflammation and it helps with healthy coat and skin during that transition process. Again, the digestive enzymes to keep that healthy gut, that pre and probiotics, it keeps the balance in the gut biome much healthier. And so it's easier to overcome the yeast overgrowth and have the kind of immune system that you need to be able to overcome some of these things. Usually it takes 3 to 6 months to resolve a major yeast infection. It's more of like a systematic yeast issue that you're working through. And again, if you've got a dog that's frequently smelly, even after baths, those Frito Cheeto feet, oily, this is probably your problem. And so just realize, some consistent work and you're going to get there. So the next thing is discomfort. If you've got a dog that is not feeling completely comfortable, a lot of times they'll lick or bite or chew to get rid of the discomfort. And so you have to look at what's underneath the skin or what might be going on, to cause that discomfort. Uh, some high quality CBD can help in a few ways. Number one, the anti-inflammatory. It also has some properties that help relieve occasional aches and pain. Another thing is a good joint support. So a good joint support helps with the synovial fluid in the joints. It helps keep it healthy. I definitely recommend joint support as a preventative, not as a cure. It's much more effective as a preventative, keeping those joints healthy so you don't get the bone on bone and the grinding and the damage. It does help still, but think about starting your dog or your cat on it around 1 year of age at the latest to really keep those joints as healthy as they can be and give them the best life possible. Next, anxiety. So when a pet has a lot of extra energy with the anxiety, sometimes they try and get it out through chewing, licking, destruction of toys. There's lots of ways it comes out, but sometimes those hot spots, those red spots, are a result of them trying to get out some of that nervous energy. So a couple of things you can do: play soothing music, give them something to chew, some way to get that energy out, work the brain with some brain games so that they're doing some different things. One really important thing that I learned is control your own emotions. Our pets sometimes are very intuitive and they don't know why we're acting that way, but they can tell that we're nervous or anxious. So if we go to put a dog in a crate and we feel guilty about it, and we're putting him in and we have this kind of battle going on within, the dog may read it and they don't interpret it right, and they decide that the crate is dangerous or bad. Or when you leave to work, if you have that kind of energy, the same thing can happen. You can compound a problem or even create a problem. So when you're around your pets, check yourself on how you're around them. If you're in a new situation, try and stay calm, kind of like first responders. They teach you to stay calm when you're around someone that's having a traumatic experience. And traveling through the airport, think about being calm for when you're taking your pet through that for the first time. Anything like that really is supportive to your pet, because a lot of times they take their lead from you. They trust you. A good high quality CBD or a hemp product can make a big difference here. It really can take the edge off and really help them so that they can see things more clearly and handle things in a different way. Good gut health. So we talked about good gut health before for keeping a healthy immune system, but it actually really helps with moods too. So in the gut, you produce a lot of neurotransmitters. You don't think about the gut for that, but this is true in humans and pets. And because serotonin is one of the main ones produced in the gut, if you don't have good gut health, then you don't have the neurotransmitters you need in order to be able to respond to things in the way that are best for you. So really think about having a good food and a good pre and probiotic to feed the bacteria, the good bacteria in the gut, so that everything's running the way it should there. So I'm going to talk briefly about Pottery. They have 100% money back guarantee. And I love this because if you're like some of my clients, you may have tried 40 other products. You feel like you're at your wit's end. You don't know what to do. You don't want to spend money on something that's not going to work. Well, this is great news. When you try Pottery, they have a 90-day money back guarantee. So if it doesn't work within 90 days of your purchase, give them a call, tell them it didn't work. Shoot them an email, send them a message on their chat on the website, and they will refund your money. I think that is honestly, hands down, all I need to say about a company. If they're willing to stand behind their product like that, that's a company I want to support. They are made in the USA. They're everything that I talked about of having a good quality food. Pottery's food has it. They have real meat as the first ingredient. They've got freeze-dried as well as kibble, freeze-dried raw, as well as kibble options for you for food so that you can go the way that you want to. They've never had a recall. There aren't those byproducts and the other things we talked about that can cause allergens. And it's formulated by a vet and a nutritionalist. And so you know it was done right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up now the handout that we gave. So you should have been given the handout. I'll go ahead and pull it up. I want to show you on here a little bit about what you can do with your pets and how pottery can help with it. So we had the information here about, kind of a recap of what we talked about. There is a section on bathing your pet here. I want to make sure that you see that. With the yeast, adding a little bit of baking soda and Epsom salt can be really helpful to slowly detox and bring that yeast out so that your pet can get over it. But what your handout has is it's divided into certain categories so that you can see the different areas, and you may want to pick just a few that you want to target first. If you're going to do one thing, I definitely would recommend doing the food first, because sometimes that's all a pet needs is a really high quality, nutrient dense food without the fillers, without, as I mentioned, there's a wide range of quality of ingredients. So you can have two labels that look exactly the same, but the quality of one is vastly different because it's a much higher quality protein and all the ingredients. And so the only way you know that, once you learn how to read a label, that's great, but there's a step beyond that. You have to see the results. And I've been with pottery for almost 7 years and worked on it with all of my dogs and cats, as well as with a lot of clients. And I have to tell you, it's the best products I've ever used. So here's the food. You've got the Gastro Pro Plus, which actually has the pre-probiotics and the digestive enzymes in one. It's a powder. It comes in a capsule, but you pull it apart and dump it on the food. And it is one of those things that can make a huge difference. Pottery salmon oil is caught and harvested in the right ways so that it is the highest quality you can get and really can make a difference for your pets. Same with their CBD. It also has herbs in it that helps with all the same things that you're after with the inflammation, as well as the occasional discomfort relief, and also helping with, tampering down some of that anxiety. One of the things I did want to point out is on the mood support, there is a CBD bone. So one of the great ways that you can do with that is you can put peanut butter over it. Make sure you use dog-friendly peanut butter without the xylitol in it. Xylitol is not good for dogs. It's poisonous. So make sure it doesn't have artificial sweeteners in it. You just want a raw peanut butter. You can put that over. They can lick, chew on it. They're getting the CBD. They're also getting out some of their energy. So that's a great option for you there. Another thing I wanted to say was these cleansing wipes. You can go through after you've been walking and wipe off your dog's paws with something that has some of that soap or something on it so that it really helps to clean it and take off any of the stuff you might have picked out in the environment on your walk. So that's a great idea. The shampoo has the aloe and the oatmeal in it, which is the most recommended ingredients to be soothing for the skin. They also have a paw balm that helps provide a kind of a protective layer over the ball, their paws before you go out on their walk. Skin support is awesome. It's got a lot of ingredients in there that really help target things that are going on. And then there's also the flea and the tick spray. Flea and tick spray, just know if you're using a spray like this, what you need to do is you need to be using it regularly, like sunscreen. It's not an apply once and it's done. You need to reapply it every few hours if you're still out in an environment where fleas and ticks are an issue. They have their herbal allergy support plus I've gone through the ingredients. They're incredible, everything that I would want in one, as well as the joint support. They have some kits where you can buy them in a kit bundle, and again, fabulous. Just want to close out with telling you ways to get the product. You're going to want to connect up with whoever gave you this video so that you can figure out how to get pottery and to know how to get the best discounts that are going on at the time that you're watching this. So you can be a retail customer with that person. You can host a class where you invite people to come, and someone like myself would train on these different things to help out your friends and your colleagues. And that helps you earn products or money towards products, as well as you could teach classes like this. We have short video clips where you can play experts and go out and share just like I am and make a huge difference in the lives of not only pets, but for the pet owners and their, the whole entire family. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm happy to share what I've learned, and I hope it makes a big difference for you and your fur baby.